राम सीता कृष्ण राधा विठल रघुमाई जय जय विठल रघुमाई राम सीता कृष्ण राधा विठल रघुमाई जय जय विठल रघुमाई राम सीता कृष्ण राधा विठल रघुमाई जय जय विठल रघुमाई राम सीता कृष्ण राधा विठल रघुमाई जय जय विठल रघुमाई राम सीता कृष्ण राधा विठल रघुमाई जय जय विठल रघुमाई जय जय राम सीता कृष्ण राधा विठल रघुमाई जय जय विठल रघुमाई जय जय राम सीता कृष्ण राधा विठल रघुमाई जय जय विठल रघुमाई जय जय विठल विठल राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल 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 राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे राधे गोविंद राधे राधे श्याम गोपाल राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे 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 श्याम गोविंद राधे जय श्री राधे राधे
प्रेम से समापति महादेव की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. Let us all stand, my dear friends, as we begin this beautiful night and as we join in wonderful arati to the divine Lord Bhagwan Govinda. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswati Namaha, Om Shri Gurubhyo Namo Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Jai Shri Radha Radha Radha, Om Jai Shri Krishna Krishna Krishna, Shri Radha Krishnaya Namah, Shri Radha Krishnaya Namah. Om Jai Shri Radha Radha Radha, Om Jai Shri Krishna Krishna Krishna, Shri Radha Krishnaya Namah, Shri Radha Krishnaya Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. चंद्रमुखी चंचल चित चोरी, सुगर सावरा सूरत भोरी, श्याम श्याम एक से जोरी, श्री राधा कृष्णा राधे. ओम जय श्री राधा राधा राधा, ओम जय श्री कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः, श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः. जय गोविंदा. श्री राधा भव भारहारे, संकट मोचन कृष्ण मुरारे, एक शक्ति एक आधारे, श्री राधा कृष्णाय बोले. ओम जय श्री राधा राधा राधा, ओम जय श्री कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः, श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः. जय गोविंदा. कस्तूरी कुमकुम जुत वृंद, चनन चारु तिलक ब्रज चंदा, सर्गलाल लाल सुनंदा, श्री राधा कृष्णाय राधे. ओम जय श्री राधा राधा राधा, ओम जय श्री कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः, श्री राधा कृष्णाय नमः. श्रीमन् नारायण नारायण नारायण, 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 लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण नारायण, लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण नारायण, लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण नारायण, लक्ष्मी नारायण नारायण नारायण. वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. आस लीजिए सब लोग, जरा साल्टी कर सीट. As we begin this beautiful night, the final night of our wonderful Gyan Yagna, we take this golden opportunity once more to say cordial welcome and a Jai Sitaram, Namaskar, Swagatam to all devotees who have come from far and near to join with us. As we take a moment tonight to specially welcome all once more to the Guru of the Om Shanti Ashram and to the Guru of this wonderful village. Once more, Gurudev, we say Swagatam, Namaskar, and a special welcome tonight. You would have started the yajna with prayer, with worship and with devotion. And tonight also, we will end with love to the Divine Lord. To the members of the Celestial Gandarvas, special welcome to them. To all those who have come from far and near to join with us. To all the Pundits, the Sadhus who are here as well, special Jai Sitaram. To all those who left abroad and came down to this beautiful land of sweet tea and tea to join in enlightenment and the blessings of the Divine Lord, special blessings to you all. And once more tonight, to all those who are locked on via Sankhya Television, once more, cordial welcome and a special Jai Sitaram, Bhaiji Ramesh. To all our viewers via Facebook, cordial welcome. It's a beautiful night where we feel the energy of our Lord. And while we worship Bhagwan Govinda and while we share love and devotion towards our mother, we specially welcome all. At this time, without further ado, let us all sit upright. Let us join in our invocation mantras, after which we take this beautiful night in dedication to our wonderful mother. We sit upright, we close the eyes, we forget the world, and through invocation prayer, Omkar. वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमोस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दुर्गारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मेरे निंदिया पे अपने निंदिया भे तूने वारी है ओ माँ ओ माँ ओ माँ ओ माँ। Everybody बोलिए अपना नहीं तुझे सुख दुख कोई अपना नहीं तुझे सुख दुख कोई मैं मुस्काया तो मुस्काया मैं रोया तो रोया मेरे हंसने पे मेरे रोने पे तो वाली आरी है ओ माँ की जा होते हैं, माँ बच्चों की जा होते हैं, वो होते हैं किस्मत वाले जिनकी माँ होती है। कितनी सुंदर है, कितनी शीतल है, न्यारी न्यारी है ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ। As you are taking this golden opportunity tonight, my dear friends, to respect and to love our mother, the members of the home and this wonderful family, they are worshipping our mother, they are performing arti. In turn, my dear friends, they are waving the sacred light and they are respecting the Devi of the home. उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी, पर उसकी जरूरत क्या होगी। है माँ तेरी सूरत से अलग भगवान की सूरत क्या होगी, क्या होगी। उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी। इंसान तो क्या देवता भी आंचल में पले तेरे, है स्वर्ग इसी दुनिया में कदमों की तले तेरे। इंसान तो क्या देवता भी आंचल में पले तेरे, है स्वर्ग इसी दुनिया में कदमों की तले तेरे। ममता ही लुटाए जिसके नयन हो, ममता ही लुटाए जिसके नयन, ऐसी कोई मूरत क्या होगी। है माँ तेरी सूरत से अलग भगवान की सूरत क्या होगी, क्या होगी। उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी। क्यों धूप जलाए दुखों की, क्यों गम की घटा बरसे, ये हाथ दुआओं वाले रह दे है सदा सर पे। क्यों धूप जलाए दुखों की, क्यों गम की घटा बरसे, ये हाथ दुआओं वाले रहते हैं सदा सर पे। तू है तू अंधेरे पन में हमें, तू है तू अंधेरे पन में हमें, सूरज की जरूरत क्या होगी। है माँ तेरी सूरत से अलग भगवान की सूरत क्या होगी, क्या होगी। उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी। कहते हैं शरेशान में जो कोई उच्चे बोल नहीं, भगवान के पास भी माता तेरे प्यार का मोल नहीं। कहते हैं तेरी शान में जो कोई उच्चे बोल नहीं, भगवान के पास भी माता तेरे प्यार का मोल नहीं। हम तो यही जाने तुझसे बरी हो, हम तो यही जाने तुझसे बरी, संसार की दौलत क्या होगी। है माँ तेरी सूरत से अलग भगवान की सूरत क्या होगी, क्या होगी। उसको नहीं देखा, हमने कभी उसको नहीं देखा, हमने कभी उसको नहीं देखा। वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। While we started our night with worship to the mother of this wonderful home today, as we are performing the yajna, we are celebrating 60th birthday. Today, my friends, while we have come together with our love to shower upon our mother, it is at this time where we join in the golden pages of our wonderful scripture, Bhagavatam. To begin the Katha tonight, let us focus now. Let us forget the world. The Katha begins where? In the glorious days of ancient India, it is said there lived a wonderful king, an honest and a truthful one. While living in society, he was one who the world would look up to. It was not like any ordinary king. You see, in those days, many kings will rule kingdoms, but they are ruling to conquer. They are destroying villages so that they can gain land. They are destroying towns so that they can build and they can acquire as much land as they can. But this king was different. This king, he would have so much wealth, and with the amount of wealth that he had, he was a pure bhakta of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. His heart was divine. He would rule a kingdom, but his heart was always for the people. It is said his heart was always there to help and to serve. Not many people, when they have, they help people. Not many people, when they acquire wealth or they acquire certain things in their life, they're willing to share or to share with others. Today, a great king in possession of so much of wealth, land, and so much that you can think about. He lives by the rule of one thing. He sees God in everyone. And if you can see God in everyone, then if someone is in a crisis or in problems, he's ready to help. He's willing to give it his all and to help people around. We must be like such people or such individuals like the king. No matter how much you have in the world, always be simple. Always be humble. Always be willing to help those around you. Seek God in the people around you so that you'll be able to help them, knowing that when you serve God, you'll receive an additional blessing. Tonight with our message, while the king will look at many people in his kingdom and he will take care of them. As the saying goes, the hands that serve are greater than the hands that pray. Remember that. The hands that serve are greater than the hands that pray. Not because we can attend all the yajnas in the world and we can sit down and put our hands together and say, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Do Akshar Ka Pyara Naam. Not because we can pray with a pure heart means that is all to Godhead. That is all that it takes to go to the universal. No, it is much more than that. It is the way we live in the world. It is how we coexist with people. It is how we, my friends, live amongst our fellow brothers and sisters. Today, this king would seek God in everyone. Practice that from today. From today, practice that. I always tell people sometimes in the yajna, look around, look at the person next to you and see if you find God. And some people might say, but he? Some people might look at somebody and say, well, well, probably we could find a little bit of God in him. But at the same time, no matter what the person would possess as their nature, their character, and their personality, let the God in you acknowledge the God in the people around you. Tonight we join in a beautiful chant to Shri Krishna while the Katha begins. And while this Raja, while this king would seek God in everybody, even if you have come to ask for anything, because he will just see that personified form of God within you, he was willing to give it his all. Knowing in his mind, he's giving in the name of God. We begin with this beautiful chant. Everybody know it, so let's sing along. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari O, Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana Hari O. Hari Sundara Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om, Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Everybody bole, Jai Govinda. बनमाली मुरली धारी गोवर्धन गिरिवर धारे बनमाली मुरली धारी गोवर्धन गिरिवर धारी नित नित कर माखन चोरी गोपी मनहारी नित नित कर माखन चोरी गोपी मनहारी हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि केशव हरि गोविंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम राधे गोविंदा बोले आओ रे गाओ रे गोकुल के प्यारे गाओ रे नाचो रे रास रचायो रे हो हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि केशव हरि गोविंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि नारायण हरि ओम everybody all together हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि केशव हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि ओम प्रेम से सुमापति महादेव की जय. As a king in a village, having the amount of wealth, land and everything you could think about, as a pious soul, anybody he saw in need of help, he will give a helping hand. He thought to himself, what is the use of wealth in which God has given to me? What is the use of having the wealth and the blessings that God has given to me and not being able to use it? I was looking recently and analyzing something. Looking at the lifestyle of so many people. We live our lives trying to accomplish and to acquire wealth, money, finances, land, houses, vehicles. We live our lives trying to accumulate so much. And this example of, especially in this day and age and time in which we're living in. We work so hard and we save a big bank account and we accomplish all the nice things. And then suddenly an illness, a sickness or even COVID comes. And like that, you leave everything behind. And while you leave everything behind, you have been saving every penny, one by one, dollar by dollar, day by day, little by little, putting together, saying, you know what, when I get older, I will spend it, I will enjoy it, I will have a good time. And then with the age and with the time, you see your children. And you say, well, let me give them a little bit. And you see your grandchildren, and let me help them a little bit. And you start helping. And even then, you haven't taken a moment for yourself to even enjoy. Many of us would have lived with seeing things that we wanted and sacrifice and say, no, one day I could save enough so I could actually enjoy it. And even till the last breath, we never even enjoy it. I've been seeing the example recently too many times that people will live together united as family, loved ones, friends, so many close relationships. And at the end of it all, we acquire so much. And when we die, we leave it for everybody else. And then what happens next? While your eyes are closed and you're gone, they're fighting down here for it. They're fighting what is mine and which is yours and who will do this and who will get this and when we get this, what we will do with this. And you know what? The least amount of money or finances goes towards the actual funeral. That is happening today. In the last week or two, I've been seeing funerals, hearing, understanding, and in this day, many people are fighting for wealth in which they can't even keep. One mother said to me, Baba, you see what? Let me tell you. I would have lived to gain a certain amount. And while growing, I ensured that my children had enough to go to school, enough to further their education, enough. I didn't want to just save it to become so much and I'm starving myself and even them or even sacrificing. I made sure everybody had a little. So the day I close my eyes, I have enough to just allow my children to have something. My funeral is taken care of and now they could live their own lives because I spent the money while alive to build their foundation as well. Today we are only building so much together and we are hiding and holding together. And in the end, we enjoy nothing of the world and we leave arguments behind and confusion because everybody's fighting after that. What is life supposed to really be? What are we fighting for in the world? What is life? What is the purpose of keeping so much in the world that God has blessed us with it and we can't even accumulate it? And why I speak of this, because the scripture says today, according to this great king, he has a kingdom, a massive amount of wealth, and he says, Prabhu Krishna, Lord Vishnu, what is the use that you've used me as the instrument to give me money and wealth and gems and jewels, and the people of my village, they are begging and they are poor. So every week he will call them now and he will tell everybody, I will feed for free, anybody wants to come. I've been blessed with wealth, let me share it. The example now connects with the members of this home. Whenever a member of a family or devotees like this come together to host a yajna, what is happening? They are taking the wealth that they have and they say, Lord, thank you for giving me the opportunity to gain so much by your name. Now let me give back to the world. A yajna is a blessing. Giving back is not just because we're going to feed people and share food and so on, but you're giving back Atma Gyan, knowledge of the scripture, the highest knowledge and the highest gift in the world. You are giving back to the world knowledge, you're giving back food when you feed everyone, you're giving back a comfort and an inspiration to everyone and every individual who is a part of that yajna. In life, we will get, we will achieve and we will accomplish, but giving back is the key. Because one day we may not be able to. When God blesses you to do something good. Today, friends, while the king is enjoying feeding everybody, he will call on all the brahmanas and all the sadhus and all the mahants of the village and he will line them up and he will give them so much money and food and wealth. The king was known so good and so much to be one that anybody had a problem, he was simple and comfortable to be approached. Do you know people who are approachable? And do you know people who are not approachable? Do you know people where you can walk up to them and say, here's what, hey, you know, you did something last week. I just want to tell you, you know, what you did that wasn't really nice. You did something wrong. I just want to tell you, this was the right way to do it. Do you know how many people are going to accept that? And do you know how many people after that will never want to speak to you again? Do you know how many people are open-minded to accept criticisms? And there are many people who don't want to hear anything bad about themselves, not even if it is the wrong thing in the world. Like you say, wrong and strong. Raja is giving back because he has a good heart. But there's a saying that goes like this: all good things come to an end. Tonight, after 5 nights of yajna, we are about to come to an end. For the king, he has so much wealth, but one day, it is said, famine hit the entire village. While famine will hit the village, all the crops have been destroyed. The hard times are about to begin. And everybody now, they are lined up by the king's palace to see what they can get. And the king doesn't mind, because according to him, I will see God in everybody. So if you come for help, I will help you because I'm helping God. I'm helping that nature, that energy of God. One day when he saw everybody lined up, he went to his altar. He put his hands together and he says, today I will pray to you, Bhagwan Krishna, to bless all those who have come. Bless me with the opportunity to feed everybody. Bless me with the opportunity and the ability to show everyone how, my friends, to live happy and comfortable. You know what? I would even say, like myself and Gurudev and members of our group, that God has blessed all of us together on this spiritual path. And with pleasure, every day and every moment, we take it within the innocence and the purity of our hearts to dedicate our lives to simply say, you know what? Sing along, clap, chant, feel vibrations, energy, aura. I can sing by myself when I go home and get my blessing and say Jai Bhagwan. But you know what? It is up to us now to mold the people around us, to groom the ones around us, and to teach each other how to live and to tread a path of righteousness. Shri Vrindavan mein Hari Lal ki. Tonight we're about to sing for our Lord. Everybody blend your voices. So all those who are here tonight, blend your voices for Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Just like the king is about to pray. And to those who are tuned in once more, we have Sankhya Television, we have all our Facebookers. Pause and whatever you're doing, take a moment for God. Is God worth your time? Every bit of it. Take this moment and let's sing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So tonight, everybody, let us blend our voices. Take this moment together. And to those who are blessed and fortunate to be in this yajna, do you know how many people wish to be here? Do you know how many people are calling me and say, Baba, a CD yajna going real good. I could come. Can I be there? Can I attend? I know you said virtual yajna, but nobody would know. I could hide and come. I say if I tell everybody that, going to happen here. This yajna has been virtual for all those who are tuned in around the world. But to those who are here, remember how lucky you are to be in the ambience, the energy of the blessings of God. So all together, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Umapati Mahadeva ki. With a jai like that, even I run in. Imagine Bhagwan. Let me try one more time. Pavana Sudha Hanuman ki. Very nice. Mahamantra of Lord Krishna, we sing together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go! Everybody all together. Jai Govinda! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Govinda. All together, boliye. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. पङ्कजमकरन्दे मनमानसमधुकरम् अर्पयपदनिज पङ्कजमकरन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे यद्यपि समधिषु विधिरपि पश्यति न तव नगरमरीचे यद्यपि समविशुद्धिरपि पश्यति न तव नगरमरीचे इरमेच्छामि निशम्य तव च्युत दर्पिकृपार्बुतवेते इदमेच्छामि निशम्य तव च्युत दर्पिकृपार्बुतवेते कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे. While the king, my dear friends, while he sits by his beautiful murti of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, he will put his hands together and he will pray and he will say, Lord, I may have a certain amount of wealth, but today I will try my best to feed all the people of my village. It is only right for the king to feed everyone and to try his best to ensure that everybody lives happy and comfortable. It is up to us to ensure that we live in harmony and respect with one another and we treat all my friends with the right mode of conduct. Today, while the king, he prays, he worships Bhagwan Krishna, then he offers the arti and he goes down now to his ministry and he calls all the ministers and he says, everybody gather everything together, and while there's a line of people waiting for food, distribute. We have enough. Share food for everybody. Days are passing and people are coming back and forth and back and forth. And the king is feeding as much as he can. And he's receiving his own blessing. When you give, when you feed people, when you feed a child, it is most important. The blessings and the rewards are so powerful. You never give with the intention of wanting the reward, but give with a pure heart. And what is to be, what has to come back, will come back. Krishnadeva Bhavantam Vande, Krishnadeva Bhavantam Vande, Krishnadeva Bhavantam Vande, Krishnadeva Bhavantam Vande, Krishnadeva Bhavantam Vande. Shriman Narayana Narayana Narayan. Bole. Shriman Narayana Narayana Narayan Lakshmi Narayana Narayana Narayan Lakshmi Narayana Narayana Narayan. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Always help the people around you. Always serve the people around you. The rewards are powerful. The king is ensuring that he will feed as much people as he can. Days are passing, weeks are passing by, and he is realizing now that while time is going, his resources are coming to an end. He realizes that he's giving his last. His wife and his children, they have gone to the pantry and they are realizing that there's only a little bit of food now, so they took some for themselves and he's giving everything. When he reaches to the end of everything that he has and people are standing by the gateway, his heart pours out to them. His heart hurts and he says, even with the little that he has, he says, Dolahin, take half now. Look at them. Take half and give. His heart is soft to the people who needs and who wants. He has a helping heart. He has a pure heart. He gives even half of what he has, and with the little that he has remained, he tells his ministers now, close off the gate, or we can't afford to give more than this. So they locked off everything. And even then, the people of the village know that when something is wrong, the king would have helped. So they are still lined up in their crowds. In the palace, the king has little. Every day is passing, and they're cooking little by little until even his food runs out. And when his food runs out, he's now in his own kingdom. There's nothing to eat for him, his wife, or his children. He's holding his family tight and he wouldn't know how to take care of them. But he's holding them tight and only praying that they will live and some miracle will take place. The people of the village, they are now breaking down the gates, but there's nothing to give. After 1 week and 2 weeks and 3 weeks and 1 month has passed, an old man comes from nowhere. The old man comes and he's coming now with a bowl in his hand and he's asking the guards, please, I want to enter. I have something for the king. The guards are asking, what do you have? And he's scared to say food. Can you imagine everybody fighting for food and somebody say, I have a bowl of food? That is chaos. He says, I have something very important for the king. He knows that it's been almost a month, nobody got food. I can imagine what is going on. Are we considerate people? Are we considerate to the people around us? Some people, sometimes they help us with a good heart. And when we realize people are helping us, we decide, you know what? Let us dig a little more to them. They're helping, man. While we could get, let me take. There are some people who sees helping hands around us and we take advantage of that. And in the end, it is something that we see every single day. When somebody helps us, after they can't give us anything more, we kick them away. Isn't it so? Who are the friends in your life? We were speaking about friends last night. People help us and we use and we get and we take as much as we can. But the day they can't help you anymore, we say, who are you again? No, I don't have anything. Go from here. I don't want to see you. We become enemies and we are ungrateful for what we always accomplish. Never be an ungrateful person. Show gratitude for what you have. The king is in his kingdom and this one old man, he asks to enter. And when he enters and he goes into the palace, he looks at the king. After 1 month, the king is lying down there. He doesn't have much energy. His wife, his children, they're there and they're just holding their tummy and they're begging for something to eat and there's nothing. And this old man comes and he kneels down and he says, this is all I have left, but I looked at how you served everybody. Today I have a bowl. And in this bowl only has a little bit of porridge. A little bit of porridge. And here is 1 bottle of water. I don't have anything else. But you can't tell anybody, Raja, this is for you and your family. I just found it fit after seeing something or seeing a miracle like you would have been living to help people. I have come to help you also. So the Raja, he holds the bowl. He could barely move his hands. And he prostrates, he puts his hands together. And there when he sees that bowl, he says, well, today I'll be able to feed my family. He picks them up one by one. And he's gathering them to allow them to eat. While he's about to feed his family, one of the minister comes up to him. And the minister says, Raja, I see that you have something and you're about to eat, but there's one old man who wants to see you. He says he knows you from a long time and he wants to see you. So Raja now, he decides to put the food behind him and he says, okay, one old man, everybody wait, I know we can't manage. Tell him come. And when the old man enters, the old man was one person who had worked in the palace for years. He's holding his tummy. His body has shrunk. He's small. And he's begging, Raja, don't you have anything to feed me? I know you have nothing to feed everybody else, but I served you. I lived in your palace for years and I dedicated my life. Don't you have anything? And the Raja's heart is pure. How many people do you know like that will give your last if you have to? If you are hungry and you have 1 piece of roti, let me say quarter, and you see 5 people you know really well, they are hungry and they're coming and saying, boy, if I tell you my belly real, who tell me, boy? You see your loved one, you see your children, you see one of your best friends, you see somebody who would have helped you, or your mother or your father, and they say, I'm real hungry. How many people are willing to say, you know what, I will give it my last for the people who have sacrificed to me? And how many people will hold it and say, nah, miya hanon, I'll go. Selfless duty towards God and selfish duty towards God. How many people are selfish with what we have? And how many people live selfless with what we have? Listen. Raghukula Nandana kab aoge, बिलनी की डगरिया रामा रामा रटते रटते बीती रे उमरिया रामा रामा रटते रटते बीती रे उमरिया रघुकुल नंदन कब आओगे बिलनी की डगरिया रामा रामा रटते रटते बीते रे उमरिया शबरी बिलनी के जाए भजन भावना जानो रे भजना भावना जानो रे राम तेरे दर्शन के हित वन में जीवन पालो रे वन में जीवन पालो रे चरण कमल से निर्मल कर दो चरण कमल से निर्मल कर दो दास की जो परिया रामा रामा रटते रटते बीते रे उमरिया Friends and bhaktas, it is said today, while the king holds on to that one bowl of porridge, he has hid it behind him. But seeing a servant who worked in his palace, he says now, you know what? I will give you something. He pulls it out and Dolahin says, what are you doing? This is for our children, this is for us, what are you doing? He says, just a little bit now. My heart is soft. So he takes quarter of what he has and he says, old man, I will give this to you. But don't tell anybody that you got that from me because I have no more to share. So he gave it. The old man, he held it in his hand. He partook of it and there he left happy and comfortable. And while he left, my friends, it is said his heart left a barakat of blessing in the place of the palace. Remember the barakat we spoke about last night? When the Guru does the puja in your home, when you do puja and rituals, the Guru sometimes he will bless that rice and he will say to the mother of the house, he will say, Mom, come, let me say some mantras and let me bless the rice. Put it in your urni like this. And you will take the urni and you will catch now this little bit of rice. And after chanting the mantras and pouring the rice onto the hand of the mother, she will then wrap it up in a little jewelry. And she will keep it there. And after the prayer, she will go into the kitchen and she will put it in her pan. How will she put it in her pan? Whether it's rice or whether it's a grain, how will she put it? What are you supposed to do with it? Some people put it in a little bag and we tie it and we put it inside and we leave it there. That rice has been blessed for barakat. Let me tell you, you're not supposed to put it in a little bag and put it there because after 20 years you're going to have 20 little parcel of rice inside it. What are you supposed to do with it? Open it out and mix it in all the rice. You can take some and place it where you have your money. You can place it where you have your jewelry. That is barakat. You must use from it in order to regenerate. You must use from it so that the blessings will be there. And every time and every year and every moment you do your prayers and your puja and the Pandit gives you more, it is to open and put it back there and mix again and bring back the barakat. The barakat, my friends, as the older people always say, when you have barakat in your home, it might run low, but it will never finish. That's all. The money might run low, the food might run low, but it will never finish. The barakat will make sure it will last. When we are making prasad, when you're cooking for yajna, the devotees will take a little bit of prasad, they will take some of the rice and the aloo and so on, and put it in a little tariya and put it one side by the fire. And they will say their prayer. And the barakat, whatever you put in that pot, like magic, you might put a little bit, but you know what? When everybody finish, you'll say, but that thing stretch, boy. Everybody will get enough. It is the barakat, my friends. While the king fed an old man, the old man was contented, and that barakat was left in the place. Now he sits there and he's about to feed his family now altogether. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Now the old man has gone. And the king now takes everything there and he's about to feed his family and is about to eat. And when he takes the handful, he calls his son and he says, come, ow. And he's about to feed him. And when that child opens him out, and the food is about to come, you hear Raja. And he stopped right there, ready to hide that food again. Before anybody sees it. He then emptied it back right into that bowl and he then hit it and he started to wipe his hand and he says, Are, kaun hai? And there he sees a beggar coming. A beggar is passing and the beggar has passed the ministers and the guards and the beggar is saying, Raja, I said to the guards that I just had one question, but Raja, since I'm seeing you, before I ask that question, Raja, I'm so hungry, aren't you feeding us anymore? Don't you have anything to feed us anymore? And he looks and he says, well, and he watches Dolahin and the Dolahin gives him the look. You all know the look? The Dolahin gives him the look and he says, well, we have just a little bit. The head is saying no, but the mouth is saying yeah. We have a little bit. I will give you something. Come. And there the Dolahin, she says, Hare, what will we have? But he takes a little bit again, a quarter of it again, and he says, eat, partake of it. And he gives now this beggar, and the beggar sits and he eats, and he's continuing to now eat this little bit, this portion, and he feels content, and he says, thank you, God bless you, Raja. How many people in your life have ever walked up to you after you've helped them and say, you know what, God bless you. You see that blessing? There are many things in the world we can do for people, and they'll say, God bless you. Hey, thanks, God bless you, man. But you see, when you help somebody who is in dire need and their heart goes out and they're begging, they're crying out to you, and you help them and they say, you know what? They look at you like God after that and they say, you know what? God bless you so much. You see what you did for me? I can never repay you. Thank you. And that, it comes from the heart. You see, when that one thing or that thank you comes out from there, there's nothing in the world that can ever throw you down. Always do what you do. Always help people around you with a pure heart. And those who are deserving, that is where the blessings would come. Raja gives the beggar and the beggar partakes and he says, I feel good, I feel so contented, you don't know how I feel. God bless you. And he turns around and he walks away. And the Raja says, okay, we have half now. You know what? Come on, everybody, let's eat fast. And when he's about to now put it again into the mouth of his son, he hears again Raja and he says, oh God, today she will kill me now. Today this Dulahin will kill me. If I give anything again, she will destroy me. And before he could hide the bowl, he sees one of his guards. He's coming up and he has 3 dogs on a chain. He says, Raja, you know how hard it is to block everybody outside there? They are waiting to break down the gates of this kingdom. Raja, these 3 dogs are protecting the place and I'm standing there in the hot sun. Don't you have anything to give us? For the welfare of your palace, if we don't stand there, everything will break down. Nothing to help us, Raja. And Bhaktas, Raja looked at the little half he have there now. He looked at his Dulahin. He says, you know what? God will provide. Feed your dogs. Because the protection of my family is also important. Feed your dogs and partake. And when he gave the entire bowl, Dulahin looks at him and she says, you know what? Don't worry. We still have a bottle of water. We will use this bottle of water and we will try to make do with what we have. Raja, friends, he allowed the dogs to leave. And there he looks at his family and he's about to open the bottle of water. Friends, when you give and you give in the name of God, goodness will come back to you. What you give is exactly what you will get back. You cannot give as though you are holding back. How you call that? When somebody giving and like they don't want to give, you call that what? They chunks in or they chinks in, right? You're giving but you're chinks in and you don't want to give. Henna. And you're pulling back at the same time. A little bit, don't take too much. It is as though, my friends, he has now that water. But how now to feed everybody? He's about to share it up. And suddenly he hears, Are Bam Bam Bola! One of the gurus of the village is coming. One of the gurus of the village, he's coming, and at that point, he's chanting, Bam Bam Bola! Anybody wants help? I will pray for you. And Raja hears the voice. And before he could put it by his mouth, he glances the head of the sadhu with the pagri and so on. And he's walking up now to the palace. And while he's walking up, just like Ramchatramanas, when Bajrangabali, he saw the Divine Mother in distress. When he saw Sita Devi Mata in distress, he couldn't bear to see her, shedding tears, hurt and down. We must never look at people, my friends, if we can help, and see them fallen to the ground and grieving and begging in the name of God for help. And just look at them at that point, my friends. But when you can help, help. Remember one of the theme tonight, the hands that serve are greater than the hands that bring. Shri Rama Jai Rama, Shri Rama Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. द्रवहु सुधा शरद अजर विहारी. बोलिए श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय. क्या बात. वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की. The king sees a Swami coming up at that point. When he sees the Swami, he has a little bit of water. The Swami approaches him and he says, Raja, I'm not asking for much. I'm just thirsty. I don't want your food. I'm thirsty. That is all he has. Raja, I am thirsty. Can you please give me something to quench my thirst, my throat? My throat is becoming parched. And Raja is looking at that water. He's looking at his family. And he's thinking, you know what? What is the use? I'm alive. And even a holy man is asking for something and I can't even give it. Maybe I might die, but even though I die, he as a holy person will be able to quench his thirst. And he will continue to chant the name of God. And probably my family and myself might get that blessing. You know what? Give it my all and my last now, because there's a holy man. If probably was somebody else, I would have think again. But because it's a holy man, let me give it. And he looked at his Dulahin. And Dulahin looked at him. And she nods her head and she says, you know what? Go ahead. By God, we will survive. By God's grace, we will be okay. Devotees, don't you think so? We are living in hard times right now. A pandemic. And nobody knows how easy we can simply get that COVID and just go in days, disappear. Nobody knows how easy. And while we are living in this day and age and time, and as hard as it is, rest your heart in the hands of God. Everything happens by His grace. You cannot fight it. All you can do is say, Lord, I surrender everything in your hands. You have to mentally be able to say, Lord, I surrender. Give it wholeheartedly. Give it to God and say, everything happens by your grace and your compassion. And if you can do that, my friends, it is said everything will fall according to your destiny in your life and it will work out fine. If you have to go, you will go. And if you have to be here, nothing in the world can stop that destiny for you. But be pure-hearted and dedicate yourself to God. On that day, he decides now to give that water to the Brahmana, to the Sadhu. And when he gave it to him, the Sadhu, he decides to drink. And while he's drinking, with the first mouthful, he says, and he fixes his throat now. He's feeling good. Raja, let me just take one more. Wait. And he then drinks another. And when he drinks another, with the second one, the Raja starts to feel something different. He starts to feel a tinkle in his body. Is it a good feeling because I give somebody something? Is it a good feeling because I nurtured the body of this Swami? And then the Swami took a third one. And when he took a third one, Raja starts to feel his eyes feeling as though it is lubricated, and he's feeling as though his eyes are filled with water. Am I feeling emotional and I'm about to shed a tear? And then with the fourth and with the fifth, Raja is feeling as though he's quenching his own self. He is looking at the Sadhu drinking the water, and with every mouthful that goes down, he's feeling stronger and stronger in himself, and he doesn't understand. But how is this so? And there while the Sadhu continues to drink, and he has drunk the entire bottle of water, Raja feels a strength and he says, something is not right here. Something is going on. What is going on? And there's he wings 2 and 3 times and 4th, and on the 5th, when he looks, there is no Sadhu anymore. But who does he see? Hara Hara Govinda, Hare Gopala, Hara Hara Govinda, Hare Gopala. Oh, Shri Krishna is standing there. Bhagwan Gopal is standing there because he has given his all. In life, God will put you through situations to make you beg him to help you. He will put you in situations to break you, to spin you, to turn you upside down until you will sit and say, what again, Lord? And when he has put you through that breaking point, after that point, then he will show himself in front of you. In this day and age and time, while we are all going through the hard times of the world, the Lord will break you and turn you upside down. Have your faith. When things are not going your way, pray harder. Pray hard. Have your faith intact. Hold on to the glories of God. Keep chanting. Don't give up. Keep worshipping the Almighty. Because at one point, He will shed light into success in your path. When the Raja saw Bhagwan Krishna, he dropped on his knees and he says, but my family, and immediately he could see them feeling comfortable. He said, the son says, but Dad, I feel as though my belly is filled. Mother looks and she smiles. Raja feels as though he has eaten so much and he feels contented, and he drops on his knees and he says, Lord, I know you would come one day. I know you would bless me. I know you will bless my family because I had faith. That is why I was giving wholeheartedly, because I know you will bless me. When you give wholeheartedly, when you give back to the world, the Lord Himself will come to bless you. The Lord Himself will manifest to bless you. That is why you must show all the love to the Divine Lord. Duryodhana ko meva tyago, saga vidur gar pai, sabse oche prema sagai. Vrindavan mein Hari Lal ki. All together. Sabse oche prema sagai, sabse oche prema sagai. All together boliye. Sabse oche prema sagai, sabse oche prema sagai. Hari. जूते पल शबरी के काय जूते पल जूते पल शबरी के गाए बहुविधि प्रेम लगाए सबसे ऊंचे प्रेम सगाए सबसे ऊंचे प्रेम सगाए हरी राधे गोपाल जय हो प्रेम के बस अर्जुन रहा क्यों प्रेम के बस प्रेम के बस अर्जुन रहा क्यों भूल गए ठकुराए सबसे ऊंचे प्रेम सगाए सबसे ऊंचे प्रेम सगाई हो राधे गोविंदा ऐसे प्रीत बरी वृंदावन ऐसे प्रीत ऐसे प्रीत बरी वृंदावन गोपिन नाचन चाहिए सबसे ऊंचे प्रेम सगाए सबसे ऊंचे प्रेम सगाए Tonight, my dear friends, we would have learned so many beautiful lessons in our message. As we are about to come to the end of our wonderful katha, it is said that God will bless us with so many things in the world. But remember the key words tonight. As it says, the hands that serve are greater than the hands that pray. And all good things one day will come to an end. But keep your faith, keep your love, keep your devotion. Always be inspired and motivated in the name of the Divine Lord. And you will always achieve all that must be achieved in the world. सबसे ऊंचे प्रेम सगाए सबसे ऊंचे प्रेम सगाए सबसे ऊंचे प्रेम सगाए सबसे ऊंचे प्रेम सगाए All together सबसे ऊंचे प्रेम सगाए सबसे ऊंचे प्रेम सगाए Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. With this, my friends, we end our beautiful message tonight. And while we end our message, tonight being the final night of our yajna, today a wonderful mother has performed this yajna in celebration of her wonderful 60th birthday. And while she's celebrating happiness and joy and her accomplishments and everything positive in the world, at this time we invite her to join us. We're about to join in the cutting of the cake, where we will dedicate a wonderful song to her. But before we invite you, Mom, to cut that cake, there are a few family members who have come to join with us, who would like to give a few words on behalf of our wonderful mother. At this time, before we go further, let me invite those who wish to give a few words to come to the front.
Sitaram, a pleasant good night to everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank Pundit Narad for this 5 nights that he has come and share his message to us, and especially making my mom proud, happy. She loved doing this every year, and this is an occasion we always look forward to. I'd like to thank the Naresh and the guys here for the music. Was excellent, so nice. Baba Dev, thank you very much for everything, because you've been with us every step of the way, right? Putting everything together. And you all, the audience, thank you all. I mean, we are in a pandemic, and thank you all for coming out and following all COVID protocols, right? So thank you again. And to my mom, we'll never forget you. We love you. Right? I'll pass you on to Vish to say a few words.
Sitaram, everybody. Panditji, Swami, thank you all for coming out. I would like to wish my mother-in-law 60th happy birthday and many, many more to come. She's not only a mother-in-law, but more than a mom. And I would like to thank again everyone for coming out tonight. Thank you.
We want to say a big thank you to our grandmother for all that you have done for us for so many years. We appreciate it. Thanking you is not enough for the love, support, and kindness that you have given to us. You are an amazing, generous person that always take care of those around you. But nevertheless, we just wanted to let you know that we thank you wholeheartedly from the bottom of our heart. And lastly, thank you for showing us more love than your own children. Happy birthday, we love you.
Special thanks for those wonderful words towards our mother. So this time now we are about to join in our beautiful birthday song as we're about to cut the cake. So mom, you can stand at this time. बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, तुझे हजारों साल ये मेरी है आरज़ू. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to mommy, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to mommy, happy birthday to you. बेकरार हो के दामन थाम लूं मैं किसका, क्या मिसाल धुन में तेरी नाम लूं मैं किसका. नहीं नहीं ऐसा हंसी कोई नहीं है, इस पे ये नजर रुक जाए, बेमिसाल जो कहलाए, तुझे हजारों साल ये मेरी है. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to mommy, happy birthday to you. It's a happy, happy, happy day. It's a holy, holy, holy day. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. It's a happy, happy, happy day. It's a holy, holy, holy day. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to. Let us give a round of applause, everybody. So at this time, as we have come to the end of our beautiful night, after cutting of the cake and so on, we have the Purnahuti, Havan Puja. So we have Havan Puja this time, after which we will join in our Arti. So while we are about to do the Havan Puja, we join in this beautiful chant. बजमन राधे 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 गोविंदा भजमन राधे 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 गोविंद भजमन राधे गोविंदा भजमन राधे गोविंदा भजमन राधे गोविंदा भजमन राधे गोविंदा भजमन राधे 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 गोविंदा क्या बात भजमन राधे गोविंदा भजमन राधे गोविंदा भजमन राधे 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 गोविंदा भजमन राधे 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 गोविंदा हरि जय गोविंदा भजो मन सीता राम भजो मन सीता राम भजो मन सीता राम भजो मन सीता राम भजो मन सीता 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 राम भजो मन सीता 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 राम भजो मन पांडुरंगा विठ्ठल भजो मन पांडुरंगा विठ्ठल भजो मन पांडुरंगा विठ्ठल भजो मन पांडुरंगा विठ्ठल भजो मन पांडुरंगा 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 विठ्ठल भजो मन पांडुरंगा 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 विठ्ठल भजो मन राधे गोविंदा भजो मन राधे गोविंदा 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 राधे गोविंदा. At this time we join in the Purnahuti. Everybody, let us all stand. Om Purnamadah पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णगं स्वाहा. We offer Achman. ॐ सर्वतीर्थसमायुक्तं सुगन्धिं निर्मलं जलम् आचमनीयं मे दत्तं गिरणां सर्वन्तमङ्गलम् आचमनीयं समर्पयामि. And we take a flower, we fan Agni Dev in all directions at this time. Om Vanaspatira Sabhuta Gandhadaganduttamarga Sarvadevanam Dhupoyam Pratikartam Dhupoyam Samarpyami Namagnevyo Namo Namaha. Prem Sosya Agni Devata Ki Jai. At this time now we join in our beautiful Arati. आरती कुंज विहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की. आरती कुंज विहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की. आरती कुंज विहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की. आरती कुंज विहारी की गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की. आरती कुंज विहारी की श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की. बोले गले में वैजंती माला माला बजावे मुरली मधुर बाला बाला. कवन में कुंदर जल काला काला. नंद के आनंद बिहानंद कंद मोहन ब्रज चंद्र राधिका रमन बिहारी की गिरिधर जय हो. जय गोविंदा. गगन सम अंग कांति काली काली. राधिका चमक रही आली आली. लतन में तर दे बन माली माली. ब्रह्म से अलग तोरी तिलक चंद्र से झलक ललित जब श्यामा प्यारे की गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की. आरती कुंज विहारी की गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की. जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल. जय राधा रमन हरि बोल. जय राधा रमन हरि बोल. जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल. जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल. जय राधा रमन हरि बोल. जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल. जय राधा रमन हरि बोल. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. 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 वासुदेवाय वासुदेवाय वासुदेवाय. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव. त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव. त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव. त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव. त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव. शिव हरे शिव राम सखे प्रभु त्रिविदिता पनिवारण हे विभु अज जनेश्वर यादव पाहि मां शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरं प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जयमङ्गलम् स्वामिनाथा सच्चिदानंदा जय गुरुनाथा सच्चिदानंदा स्वामीनाथा सच्चिदानंदा जय गुरुनाथा सच्चिदानंदा स्वामीनाथा सच्चिदानंदा जय गुरुनाथा सच्चिदानंदा स्वामीनाथा सच्चिदानंदा भर कर सुमिरन तेरा जीवन भर कर सुमिरन तेरा गाड़ी गाड़ी पल पल नाम तेरा गाड़ी गाड़ी पल पल नाम तेरा वर दे ऐसा दाता स्वामी नाथा वर दे ऐसा दाता स्वामी नाथा जय गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाल राधे 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 स्वामी नाथा सच्चिदानंदा जय गुरुनाथा सच्चिदानंदा स्वामी नाथा सच्चिदानंदा जय गुरुनाथा सच्चिदानंदा स्वामीनाथा सच्चिदानंदा स्वामीनाथा सच्चिदानंदा स्वामीनाथा वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय जय सीताराम आसन लीजिए सब लोग. Let us all take our seats. As we take our seats and as we conclude this final night of our beautiful 5 nights of Bhakti Gyan Yagna, at this time I think as we have come to the end,